And welcome back, guys, to Falcon's punishment for losing the Spelunky Daily Challenge. Today we're gonna actually pick up exactly where we left off last time, which, if you're not familiar, we're doing Sesame Street Counting Cafe. Now, this man, apparently, if you didn't tune in for episode number 1, which, by the way, I don't, pretty much blame you if you did not, but what we're doing here is apparently we run this cafe who serves only one individual the whole time. So I'd imagine that Bert, what are you doing playing golf in the kitchen? Okay, apparently he just shot an egg onto my... Do you want to do another one? Alright, yeah, thank you, Bert. Well, apparently, Bert, don't let the safety department actually come in here and watch, see what you're doing here. I don't think this could really work in the confines of a real establishment and whatnot. Just go to a establishment, you're ordering food, you kind of sneak in through the back, kind of go to the restroom and whatnot, and you see, a grown-ass man just playing golf and, basically, putting eggs onto the waiter's dish and whatnot. I'd have a problem with that. Luckily for this man, he doesn't really care. He's the only customer we have. He runs the establishment, essentially. I have a odd feeling that this man essentially bought the Counting Cafe, and we essentially are here to serve him. It's kind of like a monopoly that he's run over here, where this is the only cafe in town, and he bought it. He comes here, and he basically keeps us afloat. Essentially, we're Sesame Street puppet slaves to a degree here. All he does is pays us in stars, by the way, which isn't essentially I wouldn't be okay with that. If I ever worked as a waiter of some kind and some man tried to give me a happy star, elementary, you do good. Let me actually get this menu here really quickly.
I'd like 3 oranges.
3 oranges, right. Okay, again, this man has no care for his... Okay, he just won 3 oranges this time, so apparently breakfast was one thing. For brunch, he's trying to keep it a little bit light here. He's starting to realize that all the... Okay, well, I didn't want to get that. I just needed to jump. Okay, well, here's... Let's explain the mechanic here. Bert, look what you're doing. You're just ruining eggs here. Alright, that's coming out of your salary and your tips, by the way. So, here's a little mechanic that I guess I could pretty much explain to you guys here. Essentially, when things go awry, you could go back over here and the Cookie Monster will eat them. Apparently he's gonna eat fucking boiled eggs straight up. Cookie Monster isn't really living up to the title of his expectations now, is he? If I brought him cookies and he ate them, then I'd imagine it'd be a little bit more true to reason, right? Now, I'm a little bit terrified here because Bert has absolutely no regard for safety and whatnot. And thank you, Bert, for giving me momentarily, for a second there, I thought I was playing a video game and whatnot. Now, here's another thing that I just realized. There's a 2 right there on that wall. And there was a 1 yesterday. So it's kind of weird because not only is our restaurant and interior designers worst nightmare, but apparently it changes overnight by itself. Makes me kind of really think that we're essentially in the Amityville horror house, essentially. Again, what I wanted to get into was the whole, monetary system in the Sesame Street world. These stars kind of remind me when you're at elementary school and you turned in a good, paper on, you basically, what kind of homework you get? Go home and write down the ABCs, capital, and, minor case letters. You'd go back to school, right? He wants 2 burgers and 3 cookies this time. Well, this man is just kind of packing it in here. I have no idea what that beast is, but it's kind of really terrifying to me. Apparently he's over there shooting tomatoes or bananas at me. So let's go ahead and get these cookies, right? But again, to the monetary system of Sesame Street here, you go to school, right? And overnight you essentially did your homework and, it was really tough. Are you gonna give me this burger? Oh, actually, I don't need that burger. I need a cookie. Alright, so I gotta actually avoid this hazard here. This is the game's pseudo... attempt at giving you some sort of gameplay other than to running back and forth monotonously and picking up, essentially, the food that this man orders for you. But yeah, you go back to school that day and you turn in your paper. Obviously, the teacher is an elementary teacher. How easy is it for him to go through 15, 20 pieces of paper, right? Just going A, B, C, A through Z, right? Upper and minor case letters. And then you do good, and then you get a little, gold star at the top of your paper, smiley face sticker, etc., etc. That's essentially what I'm figuring that the Sesame Street community really abides by here. It's I guess teachers are basically the wealthy people in Sesame Street, and I guess in reality it doesn't make too... It's not that much of a far-fetched concept considering the fact that it's a really, educational-based show. It's kind of when you're playing a terrible game like this where absolutely nothing's going on, it kind of starts making you think and your mind starts wandering a bit. Whether it's pseudo-insanity or, near limiting of insanity, I'm not entirely sure. Grover still does not make any sense. I apologize if, okay, well, Ernie here's gonna probably throw pork chops at me, so let me come back to you, Ernie, really quickly here. All I know is I need 2 pieces of pie, and I need 2 bananas, so assuming I get this over here, this is basically me trying to min-max the game real quick here. So I got 2 bananas, don't grab the other banana though, that's what she said. So you give me a pie, thank you. Don't give me another pie, just 2's fine. And now Ernie, I could take 2 from this area here, and essentially Ernie's gonna give me 1 more, right? Is that like a random bag, or is that just pork chops all the time? It's pork chops all the time, alright, so just toss one up here. There, thank you. So, again, you never see Ert and Bernie together now, which is kind of really awkward. I'm not entirely sure if this was the years where Sesame Street was coming under fire regarding Ert and Bernie's, or not Ert and Bernie's. I'm giving Ernie a B, and I'm taking Ert's B away. Now he's Ert instead of Bert. So Bert and Ernie has always had like this really interesting friendship, right? Where nobody's really entirely sure what's going on there, you know. I mean, if it is what we're all thinking it is, and why shouldn't it be? Especially this is the year 2014. Sesame Street was really like a big founder and pusher of the gay activist rights, which is fine. I mean, that's perfectly cool if Sesame Street had like an underlying like message that we're sending out there, where it's just kind of like, you know, we're over here teaching kids about numbers and letters and whatnot. Let's just give them also teach them about equal equality and whatnot. And you know, who is this? Snuffleupagus? I think that's what it is. All right, well. Snuffleupagus seems like he's gonna probably steal my food. That's what it looks like. He's not tossing anything. Still, this man wants 3 pieces of pie. Seems rather easy to do. So you go and inhale. Thank you, sir. Now I'm gonna walk by here. And you know, crisis averted, essentially. He's okay. He's not gonna essentially toss his hat in the air and just get really angry about the fact that we got his order incorrectly. Snuffleupagus, though, I'm not entirely sure what he's doing there. Like, he seems like a really, like, one of those workers that you kind of hire just because he's friends with the boss or something like that, and you kind of have to hire him. And he comes to work all the time, and he's just, like, you know, intoxicated or just high out of his mind or something. And, you know, he's just kind of like, you know, Snuffleupagus, this food is for the guests. You're over here eating the food. Stop. And he's just kind of like, well, that's essentially what I figure Snuffleupagus is. Well, the monkey's not switching it up. He's not going to the left. He's going to the right. Now he's, okay, well... He's gonna hang out up here now, and okay, apparently the flowers did have a mechanic after all, and they just make you kind of jump in the air, like you're, you know, kid and play here. Or it's not really kid and play now, is it? Okay, I got the monkey now. Which, you know, sounds really sexual in nature, but there you go. Apparently all I had to do was actually catch the monkey with my plate and serve him to, like, you know, some Vietnamese people or something. I'm not entirely sure saying that Vietnamese people eat monkeys or anything like that. That was just a poor choice of words on my part, and really a good choice of way for me to actually get off of this episode. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to this amazing LP, and obviously one of the better games of all time, and I will catch you in episode number 3.